Revelation 1925. From the 19th of May 1941. Allowing evil. Deliver us from all evil. Without divine will nothing can happen on earth, therefore this will must first be the basis for everything that happens, be it good or evil. Even what people inflict on each other would not be feasible if divine will prevented it. And yet it would be wrong to claim that God wills evil because he allows it to happen. It certainly does not meet with his approval, but God does not hinder the will of man so that it can develop freely and thus decide. Only in this freedom of will can the last stage of embodiment be covered, consequently it may not be curtailed, which, however, would be the case if every evil deed were prevented before it was carried out. For then there would only be good in the world, but the possibility of assent would be taken from the human being. The performer is therefore rarely prevented from acting according to his will, unless he is a struggling person who appeals to God and whom God's love protects from thoughtless deeds. Otherwise he is granted every freedom of will, although it entails much earthly suffering. It is therefore more to be seen as God's permission, because God does not oppose his will. These events are more conditioned in human will, to which God does not set any limits. The deed can therefore be carried out, but need not always be effective. How the bad deed affects the human being is solely divine will and depends on the necessity for the maturity of the soul of the person to whom the bad deed applies. The more the human being strives for spiritual maturity, the more ineffective will be all actions which evil human will has intended for his fellow human being. Thus, he who has no spiritual striving whatsoever will have to suffer correspondingly more, yet the person to whom his soul's salvation is important will remain little impressed. And thus divine will changes all things in their effect according to people's state of maturity. Thus, in the end, what is born of evil will also serves as a means of education, again in accordance with the human being's will to be educated, for the spiritually striving human being is aware of his deficient state of soul and appeals to God for the attainment of his soul's maturity. Consequently he also humbly accepts what is sent to him, which, however, never excuses the evil will of the person who carries out bad deeds on his fellow human being. God does not prevent the opposing force from using all means to weaken the human will or to stimulate it to do bad deeds. He does not prevent the human being himself from doing what his will drives him to do. Yet he protects his own from all too violent attacks by those who are under the influence of the adversary. He does not hinder evil deeds but gives people fullest freedom. However, the human being is never defenselessly exposed to the unrestrained attacks. His own will can weaken the effect or even completely nullify it if he turns to the one who is Lord over all, whose will alone is sufficient to avert all evil from him, and who also does it when he prays sincerely, "Deliver us from all evil." Amen.